from solar long-term study. So that's not what you are referring to. I guess you are referring to a peculiar shape on the solar disk image. Sun has a strong magnetic field, and we know that there are concentrated regions on the solar surface we call sunspots, where there are presence of kilogauss kind of magnetic field, and this magnetic field changes, evolves with time, and that leads to flares and big explosions and all that. What you are referring to is there are sometimes on the surface of the sun we see a dark locations where there is a devoid of lot of material. We call it actually coronal hole. So these are outer atmosphere of the sun called corona, not the virus corona, but solar corona. Incidentally, not many people know that during total solar eclipse, how many of you have seen any solar eclipses? Anyone? Okay, few hands, not bad. So I have chased even total solar eclipses across the globe. So I've been fortunate to do that. So when does a total solar eclipse happen? When moon completely blocks the solar disk, and if you are in the shadow region of the moon, because moon creates a deep shadow, we call it ambra, and then there is something called penumbra. So if you have to be in the deep shadow region to be completely blocked by the solar disk light. And there only the totality happens. So you have to travel to that part of the globe where this deep shadow is available. So when does that total solar eclipse happens, that is the only time you see the outer atmosphere of the sun, because the outer atmosphere of the sun emits 1,000,000 times fainter emission. Very, very faint emission. And of course this light is very bright, so we will not see the faint emission when the bright source is there. So when the bright source is completely blocked, we see this faint emission which we call corona. So there were historically a lot of coronal observations from total solar eclipse expeditions, and the image of those corona looks very similar to the virus corona. So when the doctors like Sanjay looked at the image of this virus in the microscope, it resembled a coronal image of the sun. So the scientific name of this virus is SARS virus, right? If just this particular variety had a resemblance with the image of the corona, and they named it as a corona. So it is a historical linkage is there, but sun is not to be blamed for that. But so that's the story short. So in the corona, sometimes we find certain areas in the sun where there is very less material, and we call them as coronal hole. And those coronal hole regions are also considered to be regions where magnetic field is very open. And these are the places where a lot of energetic particles and material can escape from the sun. We call fast solar wind and so on. So that is what was observed. Occasionally we do find such instances where this coronal hole structure is very big. Sometimes and once it happened that it resembled such a picture of a butterfly, and they are important